This message has been building for about the past 6 to 9 months, and I think that I finally got to the root of it. Dreams, channeled messages, and last night, all through the void. So when it first started, it was talking about toxic masculine energy, trying to snuff out, hijack divine feminine energy from coming in. I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about masculine, feminine energy that we all embody. We all can embody toxic masculinity. We all can embody divine feminine energy, okay? So this toxic masculinity energy was trying to snuff out the arrival, if you will, of divine feminine energy so that people were not able to free themselves, empower themselves, that type of thing. Take back their control, their power over self. Now, this is on a micro level, goes all the way up to a macro level. Macro level being the shadow groups, okay? The hidden groups that are overarching, that operate on a bigger scale, but on a very unseen scale, okay? You don't know that they're watching. You don't know that they're following. There is no proof. There is none of that, okay? Not like there is when your family is watching and your friends are watching, that type of thing. That's what I'm talking about, okay? And it starts out in the family units where there is this control and this siphoning at the family group, because it's by location, right? It's by they are by you. Then it moves to friends, they are by you, but it overarches and grows out, okay? And this happens to people 151 that have the capacity for a lot of power, a lot of energy. Now, everyone has the capacity to grow and become a beacon of light. They have to do the internal work, okay? And some are more likely to do it because it's their path and they are going to choose to do it, that type of thing, okay? There are some people that are not as buried. That's their call this lifetime, is to break those cycles. So they actually break those cycles. They don't stay in the cycles and the loops. Now, I know a lot of you have heard of the umbrella of protection. If not, I'll briefly explain it. 2, 3, 4 on the timer. A lot of people know that the beacon of light holds their umbrella, right? There's the handle. And then there's an arching protective layer that covers everybody that is attached to that beacon of light. I'm just calling them beacons of light because it's easy to distinguish between the people. They're no different than anybody else. Everybody can be a beacon of light if they want to go within, get on the journey, and heal and go walk through their darkness and become that beacon of light, okay? Everybody can. This is not a superiority hierarchy thing at all. This is just people that have chosen, are choosing to do the inner work to be able to shine bright, okay? Now, they hold that umbrella extends out, and anybody that's attached to them then falls under that protective umbrella, okay? And a lot of people only realize, 333 on the timer, only realize how protective that umbrella is once they are removed from the beacon of light. The beacon of light says, yeah, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and walks away. Then that person has a lot of misfortunes, a lot of accidents, a lot of things breaking, bad luck, that type of thing. And because they are not looking within, which is likely why the beacon walked away, they assume that the beacon must be doing magic on. They must be sending of the spells. Well, no, they literally just took their protection and energy away because you were misusing them. You were not treating them valuable how they deserve to be treated. So you lost access for 14. Okay, we're all pretty familiar with that. Well, I was given another over in the void. I was given another aspect of this umbrella, okay? The beacon of light holding that same umbrella that goes up, but then at the peak around them, the umbrella up top, feeders, okay? Not associated with the protection. They're just giving me another way to use this umbrella, since people often use the umbrella term, okay? So at the top, right around, because your pole goes up to the umbrella, right? And then the covering comes out. The first parts of that umbrella covering our family, friends, because they become feeders on the beacon's light because they are in proxy to them. They are close to them in proximity, okay? Family, friends, school people, that's work people, that type of thing. But as the beacon of light grows, gets stronger, and ventures out into the world, that grows out as well. That expands. The feeders that are attracted to them expand. Every time that their beacon, their lighthouse gets brighter, it spreads out the radius that their light can reach, that feeders can see and say, oh, food, and then they come, okay? So now they're on the internet. Now they're venturing through vacations, attracting feeders, okay? Once that lighthouse gets strong enough and it has created enough of a reach, the umbrella, that its light is expanding out and attracting feeders, that's when it gains, that's when that beacon of light gains the attention of the shadow aspect, the macro aspect, okay? And when your light is a beacon like that and you are out, you are on the World Wide Web, you are out in the communities, you are mingling, your light is shining, then these shadow groups, we're gonna call them, now they're seeing your light. Now they're like, oh, what is that? Because they benefit from feeder mentality, feeder work as well. They keep the job at the micro to the macro is to keep the lighthouse under control, docile, not really knowing who they are, not really knowing their light, so that they can feed, they can take benefit of the gifts, the abundance, the insight, any spiritual gifts that come with it, precognition, telepathy, and any of those things that come with it, okay? The knowing, just random knowing of things, they benefit from that. So from the very bottom of the friends, of the family, to the friends, to the coworkers, to online people, now up to the macro of the hidden, the secret, right? The secret groups, they have been in this role of keeping the lighthouse docile, to keep the lighthouse unknowing. But what is happening now, what has been happening is these lighthouses were figuring out, oh, I don't have to be food. I don't have to stay here. And a lot of these lighthouses are linking up through their spiritual gifts, which is freeing more and more of them. And these secret groups, these hidden groups, are losing their ability to control and maneuver things by using these lighthouses, these battery packs, these charging stations. They're no longer able to just plug in to the lighthouses any which way, because now the lighthouse knows their energy. They know when something that they isn't theirs is trying to suck at their energy, where before these hidden groups, these secret groups could get away with it. They're not anymore. Their access is being pulled back. It's like all of the lighthouses linking up energetically and shining on them, and like, nah, we're not your puppet, we're not your toy, we're not your buffet. You start figuring out another way to survive, because you're not surviving on us. And those lighthouses are raising the energetic awareness with everyone that they touch. So the whole point of this is the power is shifting because lighthouses are taking back their power. If you're not seeing this in your life, there may be a need to reflect on what you're doing internally, because we're seeing it in our lives, and a lot of us are seeing it in the astral, in the dream state, in the void, and in channeled messages, okay? They are losing control of the power banks that they've been feeding off of for however long, this life cycle, this stretch, okay? If you are a lighthouse, you absolutely know what I'm talking about, and this will be confirmation. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, this probably isn't for you. Happy healing.